Pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Nerf Secrets Revealed. Now for today's episode, what can I talk about pretty much? Well, there's not a whole lot left, so I might have to spend some time brainstorming as much as possible, but at this time, I would simply like to talk a little bit more about the Nerf Secrets Revealed Bolts of Intrigue film project. Of course, it is still a work in progress at this point, and there's still a lot of work that has to be done around here. Though, I could still guarantee that it'll be a little bit longer compared to the re-release version of Part 1 of Bolts of Intrigue. I mean, that thing alone was 51 minutes. I didn't really expect it to be that long by the time I was all finished with it. All I did, pretty much, was add in some longer credits. I also added a little subplot to pretty much give out a little more explanation as to the events of what this part of the film is talking about. And I've also put in some more footage to pretty much connect them both together. So, technically speaking, the plot line is a whole lot different, but it still retains some of the same points to which the original version from last August had showcased. It does still talk about the fact that at the time, summer 2019, it was a time where I wanted to simply do some target practice while still continuing my research on the Invisible Bullet, which is basically a trademark given to a more invisible sort of variant of the illegally modified Nerf dart from Gun vs. Gun. And technically speaking, I pretty much carried on the original project pretty good, but I still wanted to do a whole lot more with it. So, when Part 2 comes out this November, I'm certainly going to have a lot of expectations for it. And I may set the bar a little bit too high for it at the time when it first comes out, and then eventually, they'll both be combined. Of course. Because it can't be a full-length feature film without at least 1 hour and a half worth of footage. And a lot of other stuff added to it, including special effects, visual or auditory, as well as the add-ons of other types. But nonetheless, maybe it should be time for me to start discussing the sequels. The sequels, of course, I do hope that they can be better, because after all, even though I've been doing a lot of feature film related projects since I was just a really young toddler, I mean, I've done a lot of filmmaking for 15 years. And let me tell you, I've certainly done a lot of skits. I've done a lot of things that were based off of certain, well, web series that I've seen in the past. And, well, I could tell, for one thing, that there's definitely going to be a lot of new material that's going to come around, because since I am, in fact, officially putting my film projects into motion, there's a good chance that a lot of new stuff will come around soon enough. But other than the fact that Nerf Secrets Revealed Bolts of Intrigue, Parts 1 and 2 still have yet to be finished and then combined to create the full length that I'm hoping for, I'm still going to have a lot of new stuff to talk about. But on to the sequels. So basically, there's going to be at least a few sequels and maybe even some prequels along the way. Originally, I considered to have Nerf Secrets Revealed itself span just one whole film trilogy from the start of 2021 to around 2029, but I felt like it needed some more material. So eventually, that's why I went ahead and went into some consideration, and simply put, I just dropped in a prequel there as well, for a scheduled release date in summer of 2032. And eventually, there might even be another sequel that would come into play, which will take place after the third Nerf Secrets Revealed film would be released. And I have that set for a release in December of 2037. So it's only 17 years from now, but nonetheless, I still got a long way to go there. I do have yet to build up on the parts of which that I'm climbing up from the rock bottom point in my time, but I'd say rock bottom probably would have been this one-shot feature film project that I did back in, well, spring of 2002, which my family simply played a little game of badminton. That was pretty much it. It was essentially a film focused on sports and Batman was the choice that we all agreed upon. Spring of 2002, though, this was. 18 years later, though, a lot of things would get better. So much better. I'm pretty glad at how far I've already come at this point, so it's no surprise, given to the fact that I will definitely have a lot of new stuff coming about soon, so... No matter what the case, though, there's really going to be a lot of new stuff that'll be coming soon. That's Choo-Choo. Yeah, Choo-Choo can come in. Oh my gosh. Now, despite the many risks I could potentially be taking, and in spite of many other things that I could potentially be doing, including high costs of a lot of different amenities and endorsements that I could probably put into motion, I can at least guarantee, whether or not I'd have to spend a lot of money to be able to do it, I will certainly get every single title of Nerf Secrets Revealed related media out there for the world to see. And if it becomes successful enough, then there's a good chance I might even start selling copies of the film. Now, of course, these are in fact independent made works of art, so I guess we can probably give to a lot of stuff out there that I've already done. Being that my work has usually been independent and not so much as dependent, I would certainly want to say I've gone down a pretty long pathway to this point. 12 years I've had a YouTube channel. 15 years I've had my own business, name brand, that I would recognize for all my life. And for 18 years, well, simply put, videography, cinematography was really a big part of my life. But seeing as I've come this far now, what chances do I have at turning back? Well, they are pretty slim. So that's pretty much all I have left to talk about based on the Nerf Secrets Revealed related film-based projects that I have talked about in the past, and yet I'm going to continue talking a lot more about them today. So that's pretty much it for that. But if you want to see more, go down on my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.